Welcome in to this edition of Great City Attractions. Today we tour the Portuguese capital. These are the great city attractions of Lisbon. Belém Tower, arguably the most iconic landmark in all of Lisbon, and a most popular tourist attraction. Completed in the 16th century, the World Heritage Site once greeted or saw off explorers and adventurers that were making their way to distant lands. The bastion and tower saw action in a number of wars and conflicts, and acted as a garrison point during the Peninsular Wars of the early 19th century. Highlights of a tour of the landmark today include viewing the exquisite casement and inner cloister, with a mix of Moorish architectural influences evident. Christ the King, a monument that truly leaves a lasting impression. Reminiscent of Rio de Janeiro's Christ the Redeemer, this statue, which overlooks the capital city, was completed in the 1950s. An observation deck is present at the foot of the monument to take in the sweeping views of the surrounding area. Christ the King rises up over 70 metres, with a sanctuary including galleries and meeting halls also present on the site. It's also able to accommodate the large number of pilgrims that are ready to make the journey here. Jeronimos Monastery. Positioned close to the aforementioned Belem Tower, this monastery is one of the great attractions of Lisbon. The building profited from the Portuguese plunder of India during the 16th century, with much of the tax from those gains going towards construction costs of the complex. Striking aspects of the building are its south portal, or side entrance, an amazing vast cloister with ornate arches sure to impress. The tomb of famed navigator Vasco da Gama can also be seen here, and is one of the reasons why this place continues to attract large crowds. St George's Castle, a truly historic part of the Lisbon landscape. Carthaginians, Romans and Moors have all fortified the heights on which this castle now stands. The 12th century saw the castle used as a royal residence, while additional walls were added in the 14th century, spanning some 5 kilometres. Falling into a state of disrepair after the Lisbon earthquake of 1755, the castle has undergone extensive renovation works over the last 80 to 90 years, thus regaining some of its former glory. If you're enjoying this video, feel free to subscribe to the channel below. Lisbon Cathedral, a Roman Catholic cathedral that's been placed here for some 900 years. Although with past earthquake damage, the building you see today is vastly altered from initial designs. The cathedral, built to mimic a Latin cross, is recognisable by its twin flanking towers. Its Gothic-inspired cloister and neoclassical chapel add interest and variety to this place of worship. Eduardo VII Park. Spanning over 60 acres, this park is one of Lisbon's celebrated green spaces and is centrally placed within the city itself. Named after a visiting British monarch, tours of the grounds include seeing a number of impressive pavilions and a greenhouse. You may also see one of the biggest Portuguese flags you're likely to see in your lifetime. A number of public events are held in the park annually. Santa Justa lift, possibly a slightly perplexing sight at first glance. This vertical lift is unique in a city that has employed a number of such elevators in the past. Any ride of this iron lift will see passengers ascend some 7 stories and provide those lift lovers with an enjoyable view over the neighbourhoods below. Ajuda National Palace. Once a royal residence, construction of the palace took place in the wake of the devastating Lisbon earthquake of 1755. The Peninsular War saw construction and extensive additions halted in the 19th century. Becoming a museum in the 1930s, tours of the palace today will delight, with the throne room, winter garden with interior fountain, and Arches Hall among the highlights. The palace is also the site of the Portuguese Crown jewels. Rua Augusta Arch, a monument that celebrates the city's resilience and rebirth after the Lisbon earthquake of 1755. Taking its place overlooking the popular Plaza of Commerce, the arch was completed in the late 19th century. The figures perched on top of the arch were inspired by glory, calling on characteristics of valour and genius. A trip to see the arch can be combined with a visit to a number of prominent museums, or a deserved break in one of the plethora of cafes you'll find nearby. Graca Viewpoint. If there's one place to get up above the city for a memorable photo, then Graca Viewpoint could well be that place. Sunsets are most popular here, with locals and tourists taking time to observe the going down of the sun. A notable church, which origins go back to the 13th century, is close by, with St George's Castle also a point of interest on the horizon. Museums of Lisbon. A fascinating city with some truly fascinating museums. Among the interesting museums you'll find in Lisbon is the National Coach Museum, which houses the world's biggest collection, with many of the coaches being connected to the world's royalty over the centuries. The Maritime Museum is also popular given the Portuguese history of naval dominance and exploration. The Electricity Museum is also a great day out, with the evolution of energy combining with separate exhibitions. That concludes this edition of Great City Attractions. Subscribe to the channel. What's your favourite place to visit in Lisbon? Comment below.